Hey guys, it's Saturday. Welcome back to the den. So this week is our Pride episode.
Yes, after a few weeks of trying to get a Pride video out to you guys, we figured what would be more appropriate than with the 50th anniversary of Pride being held in New York City, World Pride being held in New York City, to get you a Pride video in the last week of Pride Month.
So I've done Pride videos in the past. I think this is our first Pride video together.
Yeah.
Because, last year we weren't able to be together during Pride, but we were shortly after 4th of July, so there's that.
Yep, he came down a year ago to Ohio and spent Independence Day in the country that actually celebrates it. But yeah, like I said, it's the 50th anniversary of Pride. For those of you who may have been living under a rock and not heard, the 50th anniversary of the Stonewall riots is what's considered to be the beginning of the Pride, the LGBT movement.
Right.
People like Marsha P. Johnson, other women of color, trans women of color, drag queens, and as well as the patrons that were at the Stonewall Inn that night.
Right.
Started a riot against police brutality, and that's what sparked the beginning of the LGBT movement and why Pride is still necessary today.
Yeah, so take that, straight Pride. So there were a few Pride events that were happening in Niagara, and unfortunately with the passing of Tuffy, amongst other things, we didn't get a chance to go out and celebrate this year. We were there in spirit, but not...
Of course.
Not in body, just because, other priorities, but... So we were really bummed. We wanted to do Toronto Pride with the boys this year, especially since they'd moved to Toronto finally, and that didn't happen this year, but we're definitely going to do something special for next year.
Yeah, we're going to make sure it happens for next year.
Like to do t-shirts and all that and make a big deal of it.
We can all wear our Derek Sweeney Experience shirts. So, I guess really what we should be talking about is what Pride means to us.
Oh, I've talked about that in my past Pride videos. Just a brief recap of mine before Ken talks about his, or rather what Pride means to him. Quick rundown, I'm third generation gay person in my family. In my culture, Iroquois, Mohawk, Turtle Clan. So in my culture, we believe gay people or two-spirit people are basically born with the spirit of a man and a woman inside them, and however that relates, it's basically multi-gender identity, and we were given sacred roles within the community, so it was like an honored and cherished thing. So Pride means a lot to me just because it's family, it's roots, it's where I've come from, and what was important in my culture, and what was important in my family, like my grandmother, my aunt, myself. Like there's it. So it continues, and it's basically recognizing and remembering those who worked so hard and fought with their lives to make sure that we can live the freedom, the free lives that we live now. So it's just, to me, recognizing and remembering that. And onto you, baby.
Well, I did talk briefly about it last year because if you recall, you were working and I did a video on my own.
It was a great video.
But basically, Pride is a kind of a coming together of the community as a whole, or should be. I do have a gay uncle, well, great uncle. It's my grandfather's brother. So there is one other gay in the family, so to speak. I don't think on that side of the family it was very accepted. Had my mother lived to the point in my life where I came out, I don't think she would have accepted me. I don't have to worry about that. She passed away when I was 10. But I do kind of sometimes wonder how that would have gone if I would have had the chance to come out to her. Pride, to me, is a chance for, as I said, for the community to come together, for us to be seen, to be out there in everyone's vision, so that we can go with the whole cliche, we're here, we're queer, get used to it type of thing. Here lately, we've been seeing a lot of things with, why isn't there a straight pride? Why isn't there a parade for straight people and blah, blah, blah. And there's not a straight pride for many reasons. Straight people aren't targeted and beaten in the streets because they're straight. Straight people don't lose their job because they're straight. Straight people aren't discriminated against in everyday activities because they're straight. Until that stops happening for gay people and people of color and trans people and the entire spectrum of what the LGBTQ2 plus community incorporates, pride is necessary. Pride is important. We will be seen. We will not be silenced. We will stand up until we are given the same rights as everyone else. That's why we have a pride and straight people don't. I don't know. That's me going off track, but that's basically what I think of what I start to think of when I think of pride. So, my first year being in Canada for Pride, I do wish I would have gotten to see what goes on here for Pride. I'm sure it's probably different than what you would see in the States for Pride. At least in the States, as far as like areas of the country that are more conservative, because it's generally where I'm from. I mean, Columbus has one of the biggest prides in the country, but it's still a conservative area, so I'm sure it's probably a little bit different here, especially in Toronto. I heard people were running around naked, but
yeah.
No, that's what Pride's about. But
Pride in Hamilton this year, there was problems because people were picketing, and I mean, people typically not. I've never seen it in Niagara.
Yeah.
But I've heard about it happening in larger cities. People picketing, and so somebody picketed during Hamilton Pride, and there was like a big kerfuffle that happened, and it made the newspaper.
It's like kerfuffle.
I know. But
it happens at Pride every year. In every Pride that I've been to in Cincinnati and in Columbus, there have been the protesters.
yeah, I've never seen them at Niagara Pride.
Super evangelical, or at least that's the reason that they're using to hide their hate behind some sort of organized religion. The sort of Leviticus quoting people that couldn't tell you anything other than the ones that are anti-gay sort of verses of the Bible, those type people. And it's not, I mean, I understand that it's religious and you're quoting a scripture of the Bible or whatever, verse of the Bible, whatever. It's hate speech. Let's just call it what it is. You're using that for your moral high ground, but it's hate speech. He's just spouting bull crap, and until the music starts and drowns it out.
Yeah, like that photo that you shared.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was like 3 or 4 years ago at Columbus Pride, and I witnessed that moment happen, and they just captured it perfectly. And it went viral. Like, it was in all the papers, and all of a sudden she had like 700 friend requests on Facebook. But yeah, they're always there, and we ignore them because they're not representative of our movement. So yeah, I mean that's what Pride means to me. But I know a lot of times you'll hear more discussions about like people coming out than what Pride actually means to them, which is just as important. You being who you are is just as important as what Pride means to you.
That's the big step as far as accepting yourself. And that's what we're all about celebrating.
Yeah, it's you being you, whether you're gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, two-spirit, just queer, non-binary, whatever you are, however you label yourself, if you label yourself, it's a celebration of you and you being who you are and living your own truth.
So, when did you know you were gay?
I was 16. I was
That
dating.
late?
I was dating. Well, I mean, I knew before then, but like when I came out,
Yeah, okay.
I was dating a girl, and that was like the last sort of nail in the coffin as far as like where my feelings were. The further I got into this relationship with this girl, the more I realized it's not what I wanted, and it wasn't what I was attracted to, and I was really dating a girl because I thought I should be dating a girl, type of thing.
Typical gay boy high school story.
Yeah. Yeah. So at that point, I knew it was time, and I sat down and was watching. I was watching Who Wants to Be a Millionaire with my parents in the living room, and there was a contestant that was on who was, I don't even know if he was gay, but he was a little flamboyant.
Yeah.
And my stepmom started making these comments about how he was light in the loafers and all this other crap, and
Twinkle toes.
yeah, and I lost it. Like, I got to the point where I was like, all right, I can't take this anymore, and I just kind of blurted out, like, I'm gay. And I think they had a bet going on it. I can't prove that, but
So it almost sounds like she was trying to like pushing you a little bit.
I don't know if she was, or she might have been. In my 16-year-old brain, I just thought she was being a bitch, but yeah, she might have been.
Well, because it's scary until you actually say those words out loud, and then it's like, holy shit.
I mean,
I feel so much better.
Yeah, I was less concerned with how she was going to take it than with how my father was going to take it. And he kind of got quiet for a minute, and then he said something along the lines, I just want you to know that this choice that you're making, and I like cut him off. I'm like, it's not a choice. Like, if I could choose to be one way or the other, don't you think I would choose the one that would not have me persecuted just for being who I am?
Yeah.
You know, but
where you have guaranteed rights, where everything is just so much simpler.
Yeah.
You don't have to fight tooth and nail for everything. I get that.
Yeah. But, so it took a little bit of time for him to have a deeper understanding of that, but they took it pretty well. And of course, I had already come out to like all of my friends.
Yeah, your siblings basically. Yeah, we already knew. What took you so long? That sort of deal.
Oh no, I don't even. Honestly, I don't even remember the specifics of me telling my brother and my sister.
Or whether they just found out through your parents.
They may have. I don't even. I honestly don't remember because it's been 15, 16, 17 years.
Mm.
No, it's been longer than that. 35. I came out at 16.
Years?
I came out at 16.
14.
So it would have been 2000 when I came out to them, because I was coming out to my friends in '99, but I didn't come out to them until 2000. So yeah, it's been almost 20 years. But yeah, so that was, I mean, for me, that was it. That was kind of the last. And my father took to the rest of the family and basically said, I don't care if you have a problem with this or not. You don't have a problem with this when my son's around. Like, basically laid down the law. And my father's side of the family really doesn't have a problem with it. They're very liberal-minded people.
Right.
For the most part. But my mother's side probably would have had an issue with it. I mean, they knew, and my on that side of the family, my grandfather's brother is gay, so they had experience with it, but it was kind of like a we don't talk about it even though everybody knows type of thing.
Right.
So, and my stepmom's side of the family, we really didn't have much contact with after probably right around the year 2000. So it didn't have anything to do with me. It had everything to do with there were a couple deaths in the family and things just didn't line up, and the family just kind of stopped hanging out.
Mm.
Yeah, that was it for me. I mean, I know for you it was a little bit later.
Yeah, I came out at 18, and I was taking this hospitality and tourism program at Niagara College. There was 3 gay guys, out loud and proud. They were all drag queens. One of them I'm still friends with.
Wait, you're friends with a drag queen?
He doesn't do drag anymore. I've seen and talked to him like once in the last 10 years, but like if I see him in person, there's no animosity, no issue whatsoever.
Okay.
They basically, seeing how accepting everyone was to them, basically inspired me to come out, and I wrote a letter to my parents, and I left it on the kitchen table, and then I took off out the door, caught the bus for the morning, and the entire day I was like biting my nails, shitting my pants, like freaking out, and came home, and they basically told me like, yeah, we already knew, no surprise, you played with dolls growing up, you had Backstreet Boys posters all over your wall.
NSYNC.
You basically asked for. Well, it started as Backstreet Boys, and then as soon as NSYNC came out, it was like, screw you. Yeah, I had like Joey Fatone stuff all over my walls. Like, yeah, I had a thing for Italian men for a brief, brief little bit.
I was.
In hindsight, it was literally the facial hair. I've been attracted to beards and facial hair for as long as I can remember. So, yeah.
Yeah, for me it was JC. Yeah, in hindsight, looking back on it, I'm like, but yeah, at the time. But yeah, so you left a note for them, and
yeah, they laughed. They're like, yeah.
Was that for
like,
your mother and your stepfather?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they kind of laughed, and they're like, yeah, we knew, there was no surprise. Like, we've called you on the internet search history many times. Like, I don't know, I still don't know what you're talking about. And then they laughed harder. So
listen, I had pictures that I printed off and had stashed off the internet.
Yeah.
And had stashed under my mattress that my father found, and I thought I was so slick because they were still under my mattress, so I assumed that he'd never found them. Yeah, no, he knew they were there. That's right, I printed pictures off the internet.
I'm hip done the same thing.
So, in the spirit of pride, I guess our question for you, the viewer, would be, are you out? If you are out, how did you come out? How old were you when you came out? You know, just the general questions that you hear when someone talks about pride or coming out. You know, are you out? When did you come out? How old were you when you came out? Is your family cool with it? That kind of thing.
And most important of all, are you a fan of Rainbow Bright?
Or her friend Twink. Rainbow Bright, she's probably a dyke.
Yeah, look at those boots.
That explains the chunky shoes and all the keys. By the way, I know that I just used the D word, but I refer to us as the F word sometimes too, so.
To be fair, last week, Pride weekend, Saturday is the Dyke March, literally what it's called, and it's all the biker babes and like,
yeah,
basically the women that I grew up with.
You guys have chapters of Dykes on Bikes up here?
Probably. K2 would be the one to ask.
His aunt.
She's been in some of my videos.
Okay, yeah. But for those who might be new to the channel.
Yeah. Watch the old videos. It's really interesting.
All of them.
It's really interesting watching us evolve, and then yeah. So, yeah. Anything else we wanted to cover for this year's Pride video?
No, I think we've probably been droning on long enough. So yeah, drop us a comment and let us know your coming out story, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and like us on Facebook. And we will talk to you guys next week. I think we're probably going to talk about Canada Day and 4th of July.
Yeah.
But yeah, for those of you here in Canada, have a very safe and happy Canada Day. It's an extended weekend for you, and I'm assuming it's going to be next weekend for the States because 4th of July is Thursday.
Yeah. And your birthday is next Friday.
It is. My birthday is the 5th of July.
So for anybody who is commenting on the video or has added us on Facebook, whatever, his birthday's on the 5th.
I accept all forms of payment. No, I'm kidding. But I do love a good birthday message. So, but I think that's going to be it for us, and we will see you guys next Saturday. We do have some new things in the works, so within the next couple of weeks, you'll probably see another new face pop up here on the Den. So look forward to that as well.
And hopefully, I can get those new titles finished.
Now that you're not working every day.
Yep.
All right, take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye.